I'm Andrew Greif of the Oregonian with Tyson Alger of the Oregonian covering the Alamo Bowl and the Oregon Ducks, who lost 47-41 in triple overtime. We're standing in the end zone, a place Oregon didn't reach at all in the entire second half on offense. They really struggled after taking a 31-point lead. They lost in stunning fashion, matched the biggest comeback ever in a bowl in college football history. TCU won this thing, but Oregon completely contributed to its own demise. And honestly, the biggest thing I thought was not only the defense, but the center snap exchange once Vernon Adams got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, just the reason the game was so shocking was just how well they played in the first half. When Matt Haggerty was in there at center and Vernon Adams was there at quarterback, those two were electric. Oregon could not be stopped. I believe Adams was 13 of 19 for 197 yards, including 3 40-plus yard passes. I mean, TCU could not stop them. But in the second half, Doug Brenner comes in at center, Jeff Locke is at quarterback, and they just could not get that chemistry down. Brenner kept snapping the ball low, which he said he never does in practice. Jeff Locke, when he got a nice snap there late in the game, he fumbled that one too, and the Ducks just couldn't really get anything going because TCU started blitzing. They knew without Adams in there, they could blitz, they could bring the house, and any little kind of fraction of a second you're losing if you're picking up the ball there or anything. That's going to make a huge difference, and you definitely saw that there.
Yeah, in the third overtime, this end zone actually was key. Bram Kohlhauser, who is the TCU quarterback, the backup quarterback, because Trevon Boykin, of course, didn't play after being suspended, after being arrested. He snuck around the Oregon defense around the side on an option. That was big because he'd snuck outside Oregon's containment on a previous rushing touchdown. Oregon pitched a shutout in the first half. The defense looked really bad. I mean, that's just a very general, simplified way of saying it, but they just completely lost their way, and they didn't necessarily have the injuries to blame on it. And it really makes for an awkward situation now for Don Pellum, the coordinator, who yesterday, Mark Helfrich didn't have his back in saying that he would be back in 2016 necessarily. It kind of starts a watch now on his tenure, which has been a long time as an assistant, but a short time as a coordinator.
Yeah, there were certainly some plays in the second half that didn't go in the defense's favor. There was the fumbled kickoff by Charles Nelson. There was the botched, what they anticipated to be an onside kick that ended up going over Braylon Addison's head. So the ineffectiveness on offense and special teams really didn't do the defense any favors. They were probably pretty wiped, but at the same time, to allow 31 points after having a 31-0 lead, you can't come out of this one feeling good about Oregon's defense.
TCU scored on 9 straight possessions in the second half from the start of the first possession of the third quarter on. Oregon scored on 4 straight drives in the first half, but never scored again until the first overtime. That's kind of the story of this game. Whatever happened in the first half could not in the second, and Oregon hasn't won 10 games in a single season for the first time since 2007, leaving a ton of questions entering the 2016 offseason.